Hello everyone, this is Anuradha Sharma and you are watching my channel IELTS with Anuradha. So today I'm going to discuss and solve some common mistakes which are often made by IELTS test takers. Actually what happens and what I have noticed in my teaching experience is that IELTS test takers makes very common mistakes in writing task 1. So to understand these issues in detail, please watch the video to learn what these errors are and how to prevent them when taking the IELTS test. First mistake is not writing enough words. Actually, it is stated in the guidelines that you should compose at least 150 words. So aim for a number close to this number. If you write too briefly, then you run the danger of leaving out important information. If you report far more information than this, then you are not highlighting the important details and are instead you are providing needless data. Although it is not necessary to count each word, but you should have the ability to recognize how 150 words appear in your handwriting when taking practice exam. The second mistake we do is misinterpreting the diagram. First of all, examine the diagram for a few seconds before starting to write. You can get a sense of what the diagram symbolizes by reading the heading and the directions. For example, attempt to grasp what the important elements on the vertical and horizontal axis represent by carefully examining all the details in the graph or diagram. A common error is failing to declare the units or symbol of measurement, such as failing to include the percent sign, the kilo or the ton, or even the unit for recording temperatures, such as Celsius or Fahrenheit. For the answer to be judged correct, each of these details must be true. The third mistake is not including an overview sentence. In task 1, you should follow the introductory statement with an overview sentence. The key aspects of the diagram are summarized in this single sentence. You cannot exceed a 5 for task achievement in the scoring requirements without 1. The important objective is to demonstrate to the examiner that I see these significant patterns or changes in this graph. Some candidates choose to add it at the end of their work, and that is okay too. But I advise writing the overview after the introduction. The mistake number 4 is reporting the data mechanically. The instructions clearly state summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Therefore, failing to evaluate the information means that you merely record numbers or percentages without noting any parallels or contrast. For example, Canadian students may enroll in greater numbers than Australian students over a given period, going from 45 to 100 and 27 to 30 respectively. In this approach, we can compare the rate of change in the enrollments as well as the numbers of each student's enrollment. Error number 5, adding unnecessary detail. Actually, reporting all the data on the graph does not require including all the specifics for each insignificant or minor change. Being selective and concentrating on the most significant trends or development is preferable. For example, you would not depict each rise and fall separately if your line graph showed a sequence of slight increases and decreases in car sales over a 20-year period. Instead, highlight the main trend by stating that there was just a slight variation in the number of automobiles sold between the lowest and the highest numbers. This demonstrates that you are understanding the fundamental characteristics of the trend and are not just recording numbers. Mistake number 6, including your personal viewpoints or assumptions. Well, if you ask, can I include my opinion in task 1 academic writing? Then there is a big no. Always keep in mind that task 1 requires you to provide an object summary of certain graphic material. In other words, we can say you should not explain or make any comments about the information you see on the diagram. Just simply depict it. Giving your opinion would interfere with your written response because it is not required. Mistake number 7, repetition of the same words and grammatical constructions. One of the things the examiner looks for when reading your response is variety of language and grammar. Therefore, instead of using the same term to describe each trend, you should acquire a few synonyms such as an increase, a rise, and a growth. You might also use a noun phrase to change up your sentence structure. For example, share prices fell dramatically. A verb phrase such as the share prices declined dramatically can also be used. Mistake number 8, failing to proofread your written response. My advice is to give yourself at least 3 minutes to proofread your summary after it is finished. Always verify for 3 things: spelling errors, false in verb tenses, and style of writing. First of all, we are going to discuss and improve our spelling errors. Commonly misspelled words include fluctuations, environment, and rise. If you think that you also make this mistake, then first start writing your daily mistake 5 times. It will really help. However, if it doesn't, then start splitting your words just to learn them. Second mistake is that we have false in verb tenses in grammar. Certain diagrams refer to a past event, in which case you must use the past simple. However, you must use the present tense when some refer to daily events. Finally, some events make future forecasts. Therefore, it is best to use the future simple here. Diagrams that depict previous events up to the present and then predict the future are also available. Both the past and future tenses must be used in these situations. The third is our style of writing. Make sure you wrote in a proper style of writing. Avoid using informal languages elements like quotes or some short forms like for example, for which we write e.g. Well, you can get a higher band score on IELTS writing task 1 by avoiding these discussed frequent blunders. Use them as a checklist always as you write and a guide for editing once you are done. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.